It's been a couple weeks, we know, and you have been thirsting for more Max and Vince podcast, MVP here on Inside LAFC. And we're back with a bang. There's Vince.
Yeah, I mean, and that's this guy.
I want to talk a little bit, but I got to bring in Danny Masofsky, who just told us that he studied this media journalism. Is in college?
In high school.
In high school.
Yeah, high school. Broadcaster.
So in high school, after scoring those goals, you knew, all right, focusing in on this.
Yeah, no, I just did broadcast journalism, like morning announcements. I just testing the mic. So that's how I was,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you were the voice that everyone's like,
Yeah, they were like,
do this
in the
again.
morning, and I was all like energetic doing the announcements.
Could you do a faux morning announcement really quick about what the?
I don't even. It's so long ago. I was like, "Good morning, Patriots." Danny with your morning announcements. And,
That's totally
Of course.
Yeah.
Make sure we're all at the
What a good
cafeteria.
sport.
We're going to have career day, and bring your best ideas. There will be a packed lunch as well. Anyway, you know.
So, Danny, before we started this, and by the way, we're live at training, which is pretty.
I was
epic.
getting that.
This
I
is
just
the
don't want
first time
Danny-
that there's been really
Live
live
at
shot
training.
right?
Right.
Right. So we're live at training, and we're like
Beautiful Alhambra.
beautiful Alhambra, I guess. We're live at training, and you and I, before we went live, we were saying, "Oh my God, we finally have something real to talk about tomorrow. There's gonna be a game." Like, how excited does the team get? How excited do you get to know that, like, it's a reward to play a game, right? After preseason training, going through the first couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all curious to see how everything's going to mesh, and exactly all these things are happening in the off season. You know, Steve came in as a new coach, a lot of new faces, a lot of new players. So I think everyone's curious to see how that meshes, into a game setting against a really good team in New England. So I think right now we're just getting fitness levels high, and we're also just curious to see what's going to happen.
And there's gonna be fans.
Yeah.
Is it nice to start right away with the fans, or would you prefer a couple closed doors and then play into it?
I think it's just good to start it right away. Like, get the fans, get like a little run of how the season's gonna go, get into that rhythm again. And so I think as early as possible. But
It wasn't a great season for LAFC, and new coach comes in. There's great energy here. It's the beginning of the season. There's supposed to be, but you can certainly feel it. How do you reset from one end of a season to the next to get into this? Because the off season is very short. To reset so that you can experience this good energy, getting ready for a young player to hit the ground running.
Yeah, I think the off season is very short, so you have time. But I think we're not stuck thinking about last year. It's behind us. We worked really hard. We tried to make playoffs. We had it up until the last game, and unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But you're not just gonna hang your head on it and think about it so much. So I think we're all just ready for a fresh start, for a new season, and like you said, new coach. So we're learning new tactics, a lot of new stuff, and we're just looking forward to this season. Really, the last season's behind us now. We want to bring in a good season now.
Where are you at personally? Because you arrived here in 2020, right? And you came here with unfortunately an injury, so you're rehabbing. But then obviously everything stops down, and in a lot of ways it kind of played into your favor. So 2020, you're a little bit of a surprise to all of us, right? Because then you come out scoring goals, firing goals, and then 2021, we know that you're a thing. We know you can score goals, you're a finisher. But you kind of surprised us again with the next level you kind of took your game.
Important goals.
Important goals, important assists too, as kind of a playmaker. So where are you seeing your level at now? Where are you kind of fitting yourself in? How do you see yourself?
I just want to build on last year. I feel like you said, I came in 2020, brand new to the MLS. Really, this is where I first got my MLS debut, was here at LAFC, and now I just have a little more experience. Before I was adjusting to the league, and then in 2021, I was really adjusting to playing in front of a lot of fans. I never really had that experience yet because 2020 was completely no fans. So I think those were two little adjustment periods that I was getting used to, and now I just feel a little more experienced. And for me, every year I just try to build on it, be better, and just try not to get stagnant and just keep improving. And when I do that, usually good things happen.
How was that fan adjustment? I mean, your celebrations was passionate. You could feel it, so you get excited for it. So what was that adjustment like?
I think at first, the first couple games, it was a little tough, to be honest, if I'm being honest. It's just,
we love honesty. Bring it.
Yeah,
it's too late to not be.
Yeah,
open
exactly.
book.
So, I mean, when there's 20,000 fans and you're going, I remember one of the very first games where I played in a packed house was at Sporting Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that environment, like getting thrown into that after not playing in front of fans and the whole 2020, that was a big adjustment. But I think after a few games, you just get used to it. You slow your mind down a little. You start just seeing what's on the field, and then when I'm passionate about those goals, honestly, the fans do play a part in that. It's so loud in there, and I'm just really hyped up after I score.
Oh man, you've earned that. And I think we always forget the process of what the players had to go through in 2020 and playing these empty stadiums, dealing with COVID, and the protocols are still there, but obviously not as strict as they once were. You are here, and all these guys are playing right now. Brian Rodriguez, or practicing, I say, Carlos Vela, and obviously Chicho Arango. Being part of that group, how those guys rubbed off on you? What are those communications like about where you guys are all going to fit in?
Yeah, just think right now I'm looking at it, I think we have a really strong squad, from back all the way to the front. And yeah, Chicho, Brian, Carlos, I think all came into preseason in really good form. Carlos has been, lifting. He was one of the first ones here. So, I mean, I'm always learning from Carlos, to be honest. Even now, this is going to be my third year. Yeah, exactly. So it's my third year on the team. And yeah, I'm still learning from him. And, he's a really good role model for all of us on the team.
How important is that for you to have those conversations? Because we always think of the young player, they have to express themselves, but to stop and take that moment and get maybe a little extra coaching or see what they're doing, those conversations, everything that goes into it, what are those like for your development?
Yeah, I think, like you said, as a player that you're trying to establish yourself, so you're trying to, add your own personality on the field and use you're self-expressing yourself on the field, and you don't want to think too much about what's going on around, but it does help to have people like Carlos, people like Chicho, who, they have just good insights on the game that you could learn from. And well, some of it's verbal and some of it's nonverbal. You just see some of the runs that they make, the way they carry themselves, and you pick up on little things like that and make you a better player. You're
going to be in that position in a couple of years. You're in that formative moment where you're going to be like, hey, this is what you do. So you got to pass that on to the next generation.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I just continue to grow as a player, and I find myself sometimes with some of the younger guys, doing that role. And it's weird because you're not even thinking about it. It just happens because you have more experience. This is going to be my 5th year as a professional. So yeah, I'm definitely learning and trying to definitely help others who are also on that journey.
So let's bring it back to Saturday. Explain to people that don't quite understand the way this works, because a lot of people expect you guys, like, they want to know the starting lineup because they think maybe it's going to be the starting lineup, but really you guys have let's say 30-45 minutes in your legs of a high intensity like that. Like what are the kind of goals that the team is looking to accomplish going into Saturday?
I think the main goal is just get fitness, get back in the rhythm of playing in a high intense professional game. Like you said, yeah, we've had about 2 weeks or so of practice. We had a little bit more if you count captain's practices, but yeah, it's just getting our legs back and just readjusting to that. But yeah, 30-45 minutes from everyone is usually just to get our legs warmed, because we have a few more preseason games after this one as well.
Yeah, because I know when I play, Max.
That was a good question, by the way, because we need to give that clarity about what.
You know what? He keeps doing this and saying I ask good questions, and I'm like, this is what I do.
No. You don't always ask good questions. That was a good question, because now we pull back the curtain on the preparation of Saturday.
I did want to ask this. This might be a bad question, because I'm not a professional soccer player. But when you're off for a while and your mind is still quick, but your legs aren't.
Yeah.
Is that a thing for you guys? Like you got to get just the two things got to catch up for you.
I don't know. I think it goes into the work you put in the off season, to be honest. So.
I'm not doing that. That. So
not a good question. Not a good question.
My work is a lot different than your guys' work. That's for sure.
How's life been for you?
Now for the fun question.
Yeah, this is a throwaway question.
How was the break?
Well, how is it? But it says you got a good full preseason here. It's got to be good. Not too many interruptions. Is it feel like it back to normal? And right. You look very comfortable here, and you're here, and you're going to play a prominent role here. That's got to be a good feeling for all the work you put in.
Exactly. I think, I worked really hard in the off season to make sure I was ready when I came in, and yeah, life is good. I was over in Las Vegas. That's my hometown. So I was there for, a large part of the off season. Yeah, just to spend, Thanksgiving, Christmas with the family. That was really nice. And yeah, honestly, I was just working hard, trying to stay focused. And, so when I came here, I felt prepared. And yeah, I feel, pretty healthy, aside from a little bit of like the preseason shock, because we're putting a lot of load on our bodies. But overall, I feel pretty healthy. And I'm just ready to get going.
Coolest thing you did in the off season? Doesn't have to be soccer.
I was hoping you'd say like you went to Disneyland and just blew it out.
Not much. It was just a chill off season. I didn't like a vacation or anything.
It was nice to see family.
Probably a highlight of it was family for sure. For me, family is very important. So, I was just spending a lot of time with them. And actually the highlight was I got to spend a lot of time with my niece and my nephew. My older brother, he just had twins.
Oh, wow.
So obviously I'm traveling the whole season, and I can't go home. So I was able to just spend, a good month solidly at home. So I was able to babysit them a lot and just spend a lot of time with them. So definitely I would say that was the highlight.
I want to say you and Tristan as well have pushed the perception of Las Vegas. People go to Las Vegas, and I'm from Miami. People go to Miami to vacation, have a good time, and then they leave. But people live there, and it's a good life. And I've seen that. A lot of families there, and yeah, people go on the Strip, but I might move to Vegas one day. That's how strongly I feel.
Max moves to
I
Vegas. We'll
recommend
never
it.
see him
I love
again.
Vegas.
But you
Yeah,
guys, you
seriously.
guys will. You guys look. Vegas is legit. We love it. It's home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, yeah, people have that perception of Vegas of just the Strip and downtown, but yeah, of course.
It's
the whole
Vegas,
city.
Miami, and New Orleans. Those are the ones.
Yeah.
And I'm from Miami, and if you're from New Orleans, we get you too.
Yeah.
I know we got to get Danny to do like a public service. Like, hey, remember, I live here.
Yeah.
That's all you say.
Yeah, exactly.
They will take a bullet for their city. I said
No,
they're
that's what I'm
very
saying.
loyal, and I love it too. I'm just thinking if I could sneak in, like maybe work here and do the 1 hour charter and kind of go
Well,
over
if
to
we ever
Vegas.
get that super train,
Yeah.
then
Pretty
it's
sure
on.
it's in the works right now, too.
Supposedly it's
How
back
long?
on. It's always back on.
Yeah, exactly.
How long would it take to go
It's
from?
supposed to be like an hour.
Yeah, 1 hour.
That's a game changer right there. You're gonna see a lot of your niece.
Oh, I know for sure. I'm on 1 hour.
It was two. Was it nephew and niece, or you said
Yeah,
okay?
niece
So
and
nephew and niece. We don't
Yeah.
forget nephew.
Incredible.
Hey, Danny, been great to chat with you.
man.
Always
Good to see you
great
again.
to see you out there, man. You are one of the fan favorites. Scoring big goals helps
Yeah,
that way.
Definitely. Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right,
You're,
Danny
you're off the hook.
Wasowski.
You're now off the hook.
Sweet.
You're good. You're good. That was
I'm
Danny
predicting.
Wasowski.
I'm predicting a goal for Danny on Saturday, just based on this interview and the good vibes
the
we
Max
sent.
and Vince bump. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Hey,
Hey, for everyone that is probably wondering why I have this in my hand, I'm doing this so that
I thought it
if
was
you guys
very
send-
rude.
So that if you guys send questions, I can see them because there's no other way for me to know. So send some questions. Maybe we can get some
Let me
questions.
see your
answered.
screen.
Yeah, it's me and you. See? Look at
Oh,
it.
very
I
rad.
know we look great. The field looks great.
The 110 football.
I'm just gonna pay.
I was here from the beginning, and it was crickets. We know no one was watching, but that has changed, and we want to think this is true. But it's been a process. You start here.
Yeah.
I did this at Fox Soccer Channel. No one was watching, and all of a sudden, you put the work in, and people get into it. And we know a lot of folks are digging it, and we appreciate that. The 110 Football Show, our podcast, obviously.
Yep.
The reason I say that is because the numbers have been
The numbers are
improving
getting better.
by leaps and bounds.
and
So
we keep
spread the
seeing
word.
Repeat people that are coming in the comments are getting involved, and that's fun for us.
We want to be your
Like I want-
access to this. So
I-
fire away on a
Yeah, I
question.
mean, I plan the show, but it's more fun to answer your questions because if I don't plan the show around what you guys want to hear about, then you don't get to hear about it.
I have a question. We can both answer it.
Okay.
So we're going to be there on Saturday.
Mhm.
We're looking forward to seeing a lot of the folks out there at Bank of California Stadium. Who is someone you will have your keen eye on? And I will have, again, it's going to be smaller sample sizes, 30, 40 minutes, but some guy who's going to be on the field there that you want to see what he can do.
Do I go first?
You can go first.
I go first.
And why?
The easy answer is Carlos Vela.
Of course. But
But I think because I know what he can do and I know that he can get back
Exactly.
to that level, Franco Escobar.
love it.
I'm very interested in him.
Tell me why.
The guy is a gamer. Like he's a competer, but he also it's not just that. I know we keep talking about a lot of his intangibles, but he's a very good right back, and I want to see what he adds. He adds a little bit of a different perspective in right backs that we've had before because that's just his position, right? Sometimes we have guys that are filling in that spot, and it's not their position. We've had some injuries, so it's going to be good to see a guy that's his position.
That's a great shot. And listen, Franco Escobar, when we see him here, he pops off the field. I mean, he pops off visually because of how hard he works and what he does. He's here to contribute. Ilie Sanchez is, for me, I think that's an obvious pick there because he plays such an important position. We're going to, I imagine, look at him in the Eduardo Atuesta role, seeing it's a leadership role.
Yes. Well, it's a big hole to fill.
It's a big hole to fill. How communicative he is, what kind of role he fills there, because it's going to be multi-layered. So when he's on the field, seeing the position he is, how he supports the other midfielders,
Yeah, how he
to me,
interprets the position.
that is going to be fantastic. So,
Because it's going to be naturally different, right?
and if it goes well, and again, small sample size, if it goes well, that's something that we can really build into because
Set
it's
the tone.
going to be a prominent role. And if it's not him, someone else is going to
We're
play a
getting
prominent.
we're getting word that another player is coming through.
Okay, should we?
Bring him through.
Who's the next
Well,
victim?
see, there's two guys standing there. I can't say anything until the one comes. So
They're going to fight for
are they
it.
going to
Both
go? Are they going to go together?
Can you guys share a mic?
Oh, I love it.
Marco gets the mic.
Go ahead.
Yeah, see, the
All
mic
right,
is not the
all right.
hard part, guys. It's well, you can't pull closer. You got to stay that way because we got to keep the.
Oh, we got the cameras.
We got to keep safe and the cameras. So look, luckily that ring.
This
there
is the good stuff right here.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, this is so sweet.
As you guys can probably now tell, Marco Farfan and Cal Jennings have joined us. Hi, guys.
How you doing? Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having us.
The two-headed monster.
Live audience.
Actually, you know what, this is better. I can tell you, having done this for a while, whenever we get you guys in groups, it's a lot better. Because no offense, you guys get a little nervous, but when you work together, you kind of pal up, and it's a lot more fun. So this should be fun.
All right, all right.
We're working
Yeah.
together.
It's beginning of training camp. What's it like? Fresh ideas, fresh energy. Where are you guys at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a good place. You know, I'm excited to be back, excited to get going, and I think there's some big things ahead this year. So I think, you know, just getting the new guys involved, getting the team together, and, you know, focusing on what the coaches want us to.
And your hair's still big.
Hair's
You've
still
got
big, ugly, all over the place.
You got a couple more. You got about an inch or so longer in the back.
Yeah, I probably need a little bit of a trim or something.
I don't know. By the way,
No,
your
it makes
hair.
you look fast.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, it's flying through.
players,
Yeah, it's the flow.
Do you talk to Carlos because your hair grows really well there? Carlos is the volume.
Carlos goes up. Yeah, Carlos got a little messy look.
It looks
going on.
amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
You got to check out what he's got in the locker and see
Yeah.
what he's putting in his hair.
How much hair product and
We've got
the
already.
oh,
it's
the
already off
toilet
rails.
are back
Welcome,
there.
It's off the rails.
I know it's a locker room, but how much is it? Like who's
There's a couple going on. You know, there's some products going around.
Alvaro uses a good
who does the
one.
most?
Alvaro
Who's in the
uses a
mirror
good
in the
one.
most?
Who's in the mirror?
At
Alvaro.
the-
You know, I see
Alvaro.
Brian
I
a
see
lot.
Alvaro.
You know,
Brian's a big
who
one.
else is in
Bravo,
there?
yeah,
Moon,
Bravo.
I see Moon sometime in there.
Yeah, but I'd say the top two would be Alvaro and Brian.
Well, this is important. The fashion's important because Moon does have a different look coming in. Everyone does. I mean, people care about that. I know they do.
You're telling me fashion's important. I've got this hat on.
Yes, you do. And I brought this is my best outfit, pretty much. So there you go.
You're looking great. You know,
Cal, top peeps.
Well, Marco, kind of the same question for you. I know I was following your Instagram, so you're out and about, going to Pablo's wedding, going around traveling. I saw you got to get back to Portland, and you posted about landing at LAX, and I was like, oh, I feel bad. It's always the worst when you have a great trip, and you're like, man, that's such a good time, and then you land in LAX.
Time out.
yeah,
LAX
for
is
sure.
a fantastic airport.
Max is trying to get.
LAX.
Max
It's
is
a lot of traffic there.
Yeah,
You've
Max
got
is trying to
traffic,
get-
but they got the new system coming
it's
through.
not done.
Come to Miami, I'll show you a bad airport. Sorry, my
Okay.
hometown. Orlando, dude, that is it's just awful. So LAX is not the
Max
worst.
is trying to get an LAX sponsor.
Burbank is really nice
How
too.
was the travel? How is it now? And do you feel refreshed? And also now you've done this, right? So it's not you're coming into a new locker room. How's that feeling?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you said, go enjoy my time off for sure. Refresh and get a fresh head and start over again. You know, new coaching staff, some new pieces and some familiar faces. So it's good to be back. Went to Paulo's wedding. Went to Mexico City to visit some family I haven't seen in about 4 to 8 years.
Wow.
So it was good to see them again and see, where I kind of grew up playing when I went out to vacation during summer and Decembers on, the Mexican streets, the alleyways and whatnot. And, when I got back, it just felt, like you said, it felt really good to be back and very excited to get started to a new season.
I know these guys craft programs for you, but when you're traveling, how do you balance that? Like getting a little bit of load in, getting a little bit of work in. What's that like?
Oh, yeah. You try to get everything in before you actually go into, like, vacation and family time.
Oh, so you can take a full downtime.
Yeah, so I could take full
Okay.
downtime. For example, they could give you 2 weeks off, and you could decide to keep on training and then take 2 weeks on or
got
off later on. But you still try to do some stuff and stay in shape.
You guys are creatures of habit,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
gotta
we have
do a
to.
little couple push-ups or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Working into
exactly.
the schedule a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Right away,
Yeah.
for sure.
Plus, you're at the beach, so you got.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so formative part of your career. Obviously, getting to play for Bob Bradley is huge for you guys. And now Steve Cherundolo is another incredible wealth of knowledge. What's something that both of you guys are looking to improve or work on specifically in training camp that you will lean into in the regular season?
I'd say,
tough question.
like you said, there's
Is it? I know they've
learned a lot from Bob, obviously, new ideas and new style of play. And, I felt like I had to grow and step out of my comfort zone last year. So especially stepping into this year, Ante is still here and still getting those ideas and details there. Jordan helping out now. And, Steve, class player at outside back. So
That's
being
great
able
for
to-
you.
Yeah. Being
Yeah,
able to
wait.
listen to
Does
him
that
and-
feel you get a little more nervous because you're like, oh, he really knows my position?
No, I look forward to it every day.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, getting out of my comfort zone and having him nitpick and give me little details to, try and improve my positioning this year.
Does he ever say stuff like, Marco, let me go over this. I played 500 times at Hanover, and what I would have done is, or no,
Do you know what my
No,
nickname
no.
was at Hanover?
I played for the U.S. this many times. It's a prominent amount of time.
Lock down a couple players like this.
Cal, something because you're up with. We just talked to Danny, and you have these attacking players, world class, at different parts of their careers. So, how do you view this experience to get better?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a striker, as a forward, you're always wanting to score goals. So that's the main priority. But I think there's more aspects of the game that need to be focused on. And I would say one we focused on kind of as a team early in preseason is kind of defensive compactness. As a striker, a lot of times you can forget that you have to defend. So
Yeah.
or at least I do sometimes.
You're the
So
first
just-
line of defense,
Yeah,
right?
I'm the first line.
Exactly.
I have to be part of it. I have to be together, and sometimes I'm starting the press, so I need to work on that more, and that's kind of been my focus.
And so as you're coming in, like Max said, you come in, you already know kind of the group that's here. So you're like, wow, it's going to be tough for me to get into this group. But as you saw last season, there's going to be opportunities, right? Because hopefully this year we don't have to worry about the injury bug like we did, but there's always going to be opportunities. So as you kind of refocused your mind ahead of the season, what are you kind of looking forward to? Where are you putting yourself? Where are you kind of seeing yourself in fitting in this team?
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, injuries and international duty, that's part of the game. Some people are going to be here and there, and for a player like me who is going into his second year, looking to contribute, just really being ready at every moment. Maybe I won't start from the get-go, but that doesn't mean the opportunity is not going to rise and they won't need me to score goals. And so just being ready to seize the moment and do whatever I can for the team.
I'm just saying Marco's doing an incredible job holding that.
I know.
That arm's getting
Yeah.
tired.
I know.
No,
You
you
know,
tell
I
the
tell you,
elbow.
man.
The elbow hits the
Yeah.
knee. That's
If we ever
That's all
need, if you ever
that-
need to fill in at a press
Yeah,
conference,
If you ever need any interviews,
Yeah.
let me know.
all that. I'm only bringing you around now.
Yeah.
well, yeah, you guys are a package deal now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just make sure that you get the appearance fees as a package deal. And
Every interview.
Just need a guitar in
Hey,
there.
it's good.
You
You
guys
guys-
can
yeah.
make a record.
you guys get together. You can be like a little union. There.
Yeah.
Playing a game on Saturday, that's got to be training. It's been a couple weeks, and training is training, obviously. But getting to play a game, how exciting is that? There will be fans there, and what are you looking forward to the most?
Oh yeah, for sure. Start a preseason camp, and intensity has been high, and we've been learning a lot of things. But you also try to be careful not to try to hurt anybody on your team. So now being able to go into a preseason game and really
Go to town.
all out and
Oh, so we're gonna see
really,
some heavy
really
tackles. Is that what
compete.
you're talking about?
I mean, anything that helps the team, obviously not to be dirty players, but anything
Oh,
that
no, of
helps
course.
the team and whatnot. So it's exciting. Fans are going to be there, have them back, and it's just a good feeling to be back.
Absolutely. And I think it'll be a great opportunity to see where we're at. Obviously the first preseason game, it's been a little while since a lot of us have played in a match. So that's exciting. There's, probably a little bit of nerves, but good nerves, but also just, trying to find out what our identity is as a team this year and to look forward and be excited about winning games, excited about, getting after teams. This is, New England had a good year last year, but this is a new year.
Right.
This is anybody's year, and we're
And there's
Excited
pressure,
about
and
it.
you guys want to set the tone, but knowing that it's a preseason game and everyone is going to get to play, does that lessen a little bit, make it a little more fun knowing? Because like I said, when you're competing. But now in this preseason, do you just feel a little looser going into those type of games?
Yeah, it's nice to know, everybody's going to get an opportunity to prove themselves and to have a good performance. So I think there's a little less pressure, like you said. It's relaxed, but it's also like, hey, this is an opportunity to prove myself, and I have to do it.
Yeah, like Cal said, it's a little bit less pressure going to a preseason game, but also understanding that this is competition and, seeing where we're standing right now as a team to then learn into these next upcoming preseason games, but also knowing that, this starts now. Like for us, tomorrow's the starting point, and, the only thing we could do is improve from last year. And, like I said, it starts tomorrow. Even if it's preseason, for us, it starts tomorrow.
This starts now. That's a good one to end on.
Getting ready to get in a tackle or two on Saturday. Marco's show. See, these guys, they are salt of the earth. Great guys. These, if you're a father, you'd want your daughter to date these guys. But when on the field, it's like wham. It's a different story. But
you don't have to answer.
I'm glad we're on the same side.
Don't answer that. But you guys were great. Thank you so much for joining us. We actually probably held you too long. So thank you for the package deal from Cal Jennings and Marco Farfan. We look forward to seeing you
Good
guys.
guys.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks,
Let's
guys.
say the dismount. Not bad. Came up with the same thing.
See, good.
But look at just great energy. These guys,
I know.
they know what it's all about.
But
And
it's fun when they make us feel good, and that's why we wanted to be here. I mean, again, I just want to point this out. This is not happening around the league where you're going to go live. Guys are just coming in literally off the field, and we're doing this. It's pretty cool.
it is very cool. And it's about creating relationships here. And I think that's a big deal here. So with Cal, Cal, we didn't see as much, but when he can stretch a defense.
Yes.
He's an athletic, fast
Nose for goal.
runner for that. And then Marco got a little Franco Escobar. Is that mean streak, which I think we're going to see.
And speaking
developed.
of nose for goal.
And a nose for dancing.
Not kidding.
Sebastian, your video with Mahala doing a merengue, because I know these
I don't even know what it was, but I
do you know what
You just felt it.
the merengue is? It's the quick feet, like that.
Okay.
Now, the salsa is a little bit bigger, but merengue is the easiest. But
Did you
most-
plan this? You just wanted to.
I've been wanting to talk.
You just wanted a reason to dance.
They post it every day. That's how powerful that video is.
It was fun.
So
I mean,
just to show that I bring it now.
Yeah.
Everyone wants more. Sebastian, what's the nickname we got for you?
Seb.
Nothing on the last name.
No,
Okay.
Ibiaga is kind of tough.
Ibiaga.
Yeah.
No, Ibi. That's
Maybe I got Ibi like when I was younger,
Okay.
but yeah,
He's like, yeah.
kind of like phased out.
We can talk about playing this. I did plan this hat because I knew we were going to talk to you
Okay,
because you got style,
I do like that.
and I enjoy the style.
Yeah.
Like when they show you getting on the plane, going to away games, I'm like, the dude gets
Appreciate
it,
it.
but it's effortless, right? Like how look, fans are like, Vince. Well, I want to hear him talk about soccer, but I want to talk about style. The idea of style and getting that together for you, what does it mean to you? Is it just a personal, easy thing? You like it? You're into the clothes? Like what is it for you? For me, it's like I want to be me and do stuff. I don't care if people
Yeah.
say you got a silly
Yeah,
hat.
I agree. I think when it comes to like style and fashion and stuff, it's just expression, right? I'm just expressing myself. Like I wake up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wear this today,
Right.
and I just like rock it, and that's it. And I think that's why it comes off as, like effortless, because it's just me like showing who I am. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, as a dude that then has to put on a uniform as your job, are you ever like, yo, guys, can we get like some cool stuff here?
I've
Or-
asked plenty of times as a player, I'm like, can like players like design the jerseys a little bit? Like, can we throw
Fans
something
are on your
there?
side on that one.
Like,
You know that.
Yeah, I
They are
think
on
that
your
would be like
side.
a cool experience to do.
if there's another income
Yeah.
stream on that, then I think we have to encourage that.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Yeah,
You coming in last season, traded,
yeah,
plug in there, obviously moving it from one coast to the other.
Mhm.
I can sense it with you. Obviously starting at the beginning, it's a huge difference. But what do you do to build off that comfort, to make sure that you get the most out of a full training camp
yeah. I think is like me.
without getting too comfortable? Perhaps.
Yeah, like me, we have new guys, right? So it's getting them into our group, into our system, and making them feel as comfortable too, so they can start expressing themselves. I felt with our group last year, I was able to express myself pretty quickly.
Mhm.
And I think that was one of the biggest things, just kind of feeling comfortable in a new scene. And I think that's the biggest thing, because when people are comfortable and they're happy, they play their best. And so I think that's the biggest thing for me, is using my level of comfort to then bring other people in and then allow them to express themselves on the field. And that's how you get the best out of everyone.
Yeah, because again, from afar, honestly, it did seem like it was seamless for you.
Yeah.
You kind of got in there. You seemed very
That's
comfortable
hard.
with the guys.
It's-
Is that always just been a natural aspect of your personality with teams?
Yeah, I think so. I'm able to just kind of buzz around and, mess with people and have fun and bring the fun side out of it, but then switch and, get the serious side and gain people's respect in that aspect as well. And I think that was like the biggest thing for me.
How does the dynamic change now? Because like you've been here, but then now you got some vets. Now you got some guys like you coming
Yeah.
in, like Ilie,
Yeah.
like Franco. How does that change for you, or is it the same?
I think it's pretty much the same. I mean, when you get more vets, right, they've been through it. They
Mhm.
understand it. Ilie's been, was solid for KC for years, and he's a great player.
Mhm.
Same with Franco at Atlanta. And so for me, it's those guys understand like the situation, being traded, knowing what it takes to, bring the level up. I mean, Ilie's already being vocal in training, talking and stuff like that. And I think with that level of, gamesmanship and experience, you get a certain aspect of respect no matter where you go. And I think that's big for them. And I think us as other players, we see that too. And we just kind of feed off that and push them as well.
This was a topic we brought up, and you were the first one last season about MLS know-how. Get guys who know this league, because it's a very specific league. Travel, you name it. You know more, obviously, than we would. And now this group that came over. So how do we manifest how do we express MLS know-how to players who haven't been here, and how valuable is it?
How do you express it? It's tough because, I mean, you just have to do it. The way the MLS is, it's like, hey, yeah, you're going to Miami in a week. You have to come back and play a midweek game at home in LA, then you're out again. It's one of those things where the experiences, as much as you talk about, the experiences are vital. And I think having guys who have been through it and understand it, it's one thing to say it, but it's a whole different thing to do it. You can talk about it all you want, but when you're doing it, and like I'm vocal too, and I tell the young guys like, yo, do this. It'll help you in 2 weeks or a week later or whenever. It's about, spreading that knowledge, because then everyone grows at the same rate. And then those guys gain that experience as well. Yeah.
Well, speaking of helping those young guys, we have a first preseason match tomorrow. I'm sure the young guys think they know what to expect. But you've done this for a while, and you know what because you have to get something out of this, right? This
Yes.
is not just to run around and wave to the fans. Like you're going into this is work. So what are you going into Saturday wanting to get out of it? What are you kind of conveying to some of those guys that maybe they're bright-eyed and they're ready to go, but you're like, hey, this is good, but also this is what we need from you.
Yeah, I think for tomorrow, I mean, we've been doing it kind of all week, is just focusing on, you know, our defensive shape and stuff like that. So it's being more compact and more together when we defend. And so for me, I'm talking to like Tony, for all those young guys, it's like when you guys come in, just make sure you keep everyone organized. You know, those are the things like Steve and everyone are looking for, is that organization, you know, and making sure that people are awake and people are aware and just stuff like that. That for me, I guess as a center back is kind of your role.
Right.
You know, you see everything. You have to help people out whenever you can, as well as obviously take care of yourself and your other people behind you. But I think it's just kind of being calm and composed in that, you know, scenario, but then still allowing yourself to be who you are as a player and express yourself in that way.
Center backs, it's changed a lot on how the position is played. Everything has, but I think more so center backs, especially the way LAFC plays, and goalkeepers too. You were traded here as part of the Eddie Segura injury. He's coming back. Mamadou Fall is developing.
Yeah.
What is it that for playing for LAFC that you have to have in your tool bag to be a good center back?
I think
to be an effective center back.
I think versatility. I think when Bob was here too, it was, you know, being able to, yes, defend in that group aspect of it, you know, together, back four, you know, I guess field generals in a way, you know, telling people where to go and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you're on an island 1v1, can you win that? You know, in big moments of the game, being able to step up in those certain situations, win a ball and help the team. I think that is the biggest thing that I've noticed while being here, is that versatility. Yes, you can do it with 4 people, but can you also do it by yourself? 2v2, 2v1, like stuff like that, being able to read those scenarios, read those situations, and deal with them effectively.
That's the modern center back role right now. I mean,
that's a great answer.
Is that fun for you to kind of move to that, to where you feel like you're, like you said, you're sometimes a man on an island, and you have to read situations. You have to sometimes say, I just got to do this and make a play. I mean, it's pressure, but it's got to be fun, as opposed to the old center back, drop back 10 yards, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
right?
no, I mean, it is. It's, you know, with everything, there's pros and cons. Like, you love it when it works. You know, when you're on and you're doing everything and everything's working for you, it's the best. And then also, you know, but then that's why you're teammates, right? So when it doesn't go well, you have cover. So it's one of those things where it's always a work in progress. I don't think it can ever be 100%. And the best thing you can do is have teammates that have your back at all times. And I mean, and you go into it the fullest of confidence and no fear.
So this is the first time we're seeing a lot of you guys. We're asking you guys kind of like, how was your break and stuff? Did I see you got engaged?
I got it. So I got engaged before I got traded.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but with
weeks
those,
before.
the cool
It's
photos.
off.
And those were the
cool photos.
And then those were the
We're going to do a redo.
Congratulations on the really cool photos.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations on the engagement.
Appreciate
but
it.
how was your time off? Where was your home base? Did you stay out here?
I bumped around a lot, actually. So I was here, went out to Houston, came back here, went out to Houston, then Austin, then Louisiana for a wedding.
Is that where? That's where
I took the photo. Then after that, I went to Maryland and New York, took the photos in New York.
you are quite the cosmopolitan man, my friend.
Globetrotter.
I had to do a lot. I wasn't the happiest about it, but I had to do a lot. But and then came back to LA.
Is it good? We were asking the guys, because I didn't know how it works, where you guys have to still get a little bit of a load, and they're saying you can decide 2 weeks off here or 2 weeks off here.
Yeah, exactly.
How was that for you? And then I'm sure, like they said, they still you got to get a little bit in because you're athletes, right?
Yeah. So mine was, I kind of started, I didn't really stop training right after the season because I knew I had all that stuff. And then like in the middle, I took like a week and a half off and then started back up after that. So it's weird, but like you said, like it's part of being a professional, right? You have to get that work in, or else you come into preseason a step behind everyone else, and that's not good for you and also the team. So
survival. It literally is survival of the fittest for that first preseason
exactly.
game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to say these center backs stick together. While he's doing his interview, Moody and Eddie were taking a hot tub, putting in the time in there. Smart.
You got it.
How did the
There's
relation?
certain guys that spend more time in those hot tubs.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
The conversations important to during it. The training's one thing, but in the locker room, creating those relationships. I mean, is that something you say I have to do? I go in a room, I got to talk new players, having those conversations so everyone gets comfortable.
It's not something I think about, but I think it's something I do, because I think
You strike me as that guy that kind of bridges everyone together.
Yeah. I like to make sure people are always included. You know, I mean, it was cool because me and Chicho actually came in at around the same time, so we kind of had that, you know, like that. Oh, we're both new, so like, cool. Like we'll just chill, and we stayed in the same hotel. But I think it's always important, especially off the field, to have chemistry. I think, you know, being together as a group, it fosters a lot more on the field. You know, when you go through stuff together, on and off the field, it makes you guys, it makes us closer. So I think for me, it's always about getting that type of camaraderie between the guys off the field in the locker room. You know, locker room is always a fun place to be. You know, music blaring, people being dumb, and all that kind of stuff. So that's like the
cracking towels.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's kind of just the fun vibe you always want to have in there. And after a hard day, we go in there and everyone's like, hey, like at least we all worked. You know, like, and that's the best part. Yeah.
Well, every year's a new group, but if you look back on last year, what you guys went through, had to go through together. I mean, it was like on that spectrum of epically bad in that way with these and just unlucky. So do you feel like you said, banding together the kind of time that you guys got to put in, and as much as no one wants to have a bad season, do you feel like it's something that really you can, I don't know if you draw from it or how you use it, but it's something you can use, right?
Yeah, I think we definitely draw from it. You look at it, I mean, for our club, it's the first time not making playoffs, right? Historically, this club has been great. So it's one of those blemishes on a record that the people who were here look at it and we're like, we never want this to happen again. You know, you can blame whatever you want.
We blame Vince. We blame Vince.
A lot of people do blame him.
You can blame whatever you want, but it's an experience that we all had, and we all left with a bad taste in our mouth, and we never want to experience that again. You know what I mean? So I think it's one of those things you look at. And that's why I came out dancing, because I was like, it's a new season. It's a clean slate. We get to put in that work in again and then push for a better result in an MLS Cup. So I think that's why I come out here every day and I'm happy and I'm dancing. I'm doing all this kind of stuff because that is my optimism. And that's kind of how I look at it. We've been through that. Let's push forward and do even better. Yeah.
Cue the dancing video. We're going to see that a lot more this season. I'm convinced because it's comforting. So we like
it makes you feel good. Like
makes you feel good.
Everyone that comes down here say like, hey, what's up? How do you feel? And like we got to come out here a lot more obviously before COVID and hang out with you guys before you were here. But we just keep saying, you know, the vibe's good. It's different. It's not like it's better or worse. It's just different, and it just feels like a family. It really feels just slightly different in that way. Yeah.
No, I think I agree. I think that's also something I think Steve kind of talked about too, right? When it was announced that he was a coach, that he wants to get. Like, also, he wants good players. He wants to do all that, but he also wants like good people and make us, you know, connected together. So I think that's a big thing that Steve has been pushing for as well. And he has guys in the locker room who also like kind of like me, like I agree in that same manner. So I push that as well. So yeah,
we can't wait to see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're looking forward to an actual game at the stadium. Sebastian Ibiaga, we keep you here all day because he's very, again,
and we would, but we look over at PR and we're like, okay.
But you would wear that hat.
I would.
You're a hat guy.
I have one, but mine's brown. I do like the gray, like the darkest charcoal. I don't know.
We'll exchange notes. Like Gorn Brothers, I'm sure you've heard of them.
Is that an LA brand?
Yes. You know what? They're West Coast. I don't know if they're LA. More like San Francisco.
It's nice.
But there's some
I
LA
can't pull it off.
Some good hats if you're into it. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll exchange.
We'll
exchange ideas.
All right.
Sam, have a good one. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have our live audience here applauding.
Clap. Thank you, Cameron.
Cameron coming through in the clutch.
See, I wore this hat for a reason, and I knew it would work.
Who does he remind you of? When I was just sitting there like that, I kind of got this Gary Clark vibe.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Austin, so you got that in mind.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoy style. I like a player that can express himself and feels very comfortable. I think that's the key word is comfortable. The guy feels comfortable.
That's what I kept saying. I must have used that word 3 or 4 times. Great answers. Some not so great questions, quite frankly. But
well, maybe we should get some fan questions.
Which they make them good questions. Let's get some good.
I got this thing in my hand this whole time. We haven't used any of them. So maybe Jason can get us some of these fan questions, and I can read some off. Max vamp for a little bit while we get some fan questions in here.
Oh, how about that USA game, huh?
You got some hot takes on the USA game?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, here's a question from Soccer USA. Is Vince's hat more Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday?
Wow.
I think it's more Doc Holliday, especially because of the mustache and goatee.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah. You can't even see straight. That's why I got 2 guns. I can shoot both of you.
I always liked Val Kilmer in there. He always looked like he was deathly ill, and he was. I mean, he was deathly ill the whole time, and the makeup wasn't fantastic. But the hat up close looks even better. Yeah, so who knows back in this? I got to do a rewatch of
All right.
that.
Are all these questions going to be about my hat?
No.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, LAFC o'clock, Vince. do
I
not
got a
listen to
haircut,
the
by the way, if
haters,
anyone
protect
noticed.
Your head. Look, I've obviously customized this hat. This hat is mine. It's not like I just rented this bad.
Are you allowed to let others wear your hat, or would that just
You know
take
who-
all the
you know,
mystic powers?
actually, when I showed up here,
I
Head
felt
of
rude to
security-
ask.
head of security Paul
What a shocker!
said, "What a great hat," and I said, "Go ahead, give it a spin, give it a test drive."
He must have looked ridiculous in
No,
it.
I'm not gonna lie, because he had his cool Dodgers Hawaiian shirt on. Because it's Hawaiian shirt Fridays here. We didn't get that memo.
I wish I
he
did.
looked cool.
I wish I did.
I look cool, and I saying it with like I'm surprised, and I shouldn't. Now Paul's gonna be mad at me, but he looked cool.
Yeah. Still team
gotta
security
get him
Paul, he has a little game where he makes me wait outside in the gate for 10 minutes.
It's one of my favorite games.
So I now time it where I'm on a phone call so I can sit there until he decides to open it up.
Okay, here's a question we might not have the best answer to. Hector Diaz, can a non-season ticket holder make it to the game tomorrow? Would love to attend. From what we've heard, it only went out to members, although I have been seeing some members saying they unfortunately cannot make it. And instead of just dipping off and not going to the game, they've been trying to give their tickets away. So this is not a good answer, like I said, but check Reddit, check Twitter. Maybe there's some people that can't go.
And we will also add, if you want a little flavor of it all, and we do our Max and Vince live on Instagram every Thursday afternoon, usually 3, maybe 4 sometimes. There will be a tailgate across the street, so you can enjoy some of it. And there'll be some preseason games. It's a long preseason. They'll be spread out. This actually feels pretty early because there'll be games, into that second week of February.
And you and I will be back doing this live after the game.
Yes,
we'll be back right where you're watching us now
So
on
around
110
2
YouTube.
o'clock,
Yeah, around 2 o'clock.
we will recap
so if
what
you-
we saw.
Yeah, so if you can't be there, we will recap what we saw and give you hot takes.
His eye on Franco Escobar, me on Ilie Sanchez, and we'll have more on that. Are we any more questions?
We have more questions. From Andrew. Andrew asked, Max, are you excited for Angel City? I know the answer to this, but
Absolutely.
Yeah. What
Listen,
excites you
the roster they're putting together is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not messing
Christian
around.
Press is a very
Christian
good
Press
first.
was hanging there, and then they just filled that field beautifully. It's
I'm worried because the sprinklers are on behind me. And
What
I know
excites me-
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. This is live TV, people.
it's a
keep going.
beautiful day here in Alhambra. There's this breeze
I
that
know.
comes
Actually,
up here.
I wouldn't mind a little shower.
We got to eat at one of the famous Chinese restaurants that Dweezy always talks about. I haven't gone yet.
Yes.
But Alhambra is known
I
for
believe one
incredible
place
Chinese
is
food.
Szechuan Expressions. I butchered Szechuan.
That's
but
okay. I got to say that's not the best name for a restaurant.
No,
right?
but he
Szechuan
said- he
Expressions,
said
but he
it's-
did say it's
he said
amazing.
It's incredible. And you poked around at some Mexican food joints that you said are pretty good.
Las Ranas here is excellent, and then if you go down to Cesar Chavez, it's called Azteca Tortilleria. Great tortillas, whatever they
Great
put in
name.
is delicious.
Great name.
It's a grab and go kind of place.
Great name. Okay, what else we got?
Oh, can I say something really quick about Angel City? This is what excites me, and it's more about the stadium. You want your stadium to be busy, and it makes it a museum almost, and these memories that go into it. So with LAFC, Angel City, the concert calendar, you're going to start going into, people go to Fenway and Yankee Stadium,
You could almost be a
Staples,
bank every day. of the year.
Crypto.com arena, and
Never
they'll say,
heard of it.
I remember I was there, and I remember this happened here, and this happened, and I saw this. That's important for stadiums. It really is. So that's why I'm excited about Angel City, because
Yeah.
more memories go
Stadium
in.
does no good being empty.
It gets lonely. You can hear it
Do you
go.
live there?
No, I've gone there. I've had a conversation with the stadium. I've had a conversation.
All right, let's move on.
Jason is waving me off, going, please stop
Let's move on.
this.
Yeah, because there's another question. Somebody is asking, this is a good question. Is there a stream for the game tomorrow? I believe there is not a stream for the actual game, but let me remind you.
He's
that
going to have his
Max
phone.
and Vince, yeah, I will pirate it for you guys, but come back to 110 YouTube channel because Max and Vince will have you covered after the game. We'll fill you in. We'll paint a vivid picture.
That's true.
That's what you do.
We do.
You're the voice of LAFC.
We will paint a picture.
You'll
There's
take
no doubt.
copious notes. I know how Max will do this. He shows up with like
I
5
write
to
down
10
everything.
pieces of loose printer paper and just writes. He just scribbles on them. I don't know how it happens, but that's how he works.
When folks, Derek Gray at Arlo White does it, these beautiful lineup cards.
Oh yeah, they're putting on
And they're
like
like,
manila
oh, yeah, we
folders
should
with,
be
like,
in the Smithsonian. I go, not my lineup cards, but it works for me. And they usually go up and into the bin. Unless I'm going to use it. I'll keep it around, but it's just my wife hates it. There's these lineup, I go, just toss it.
Here's a question. This is a tough one to answer as well. Any academy kids plan playing time for tomorrow?
Yes,
Yes.
I think so. Well,
You-
Christian Torres and
No. I think they're talking about.
new
no,
academy. Okay, sorry. I
everyone's very
thought I'm
excited.
stuck in the past.
I can say one name that they're very excited about.
Yes.
And I think we are too. Is Nathan Ordaz, who had a call into the El Salvador national team. Scored a big goal in that, I guess it was the kind of conference final to send them on the road to Arizona, that U19 team. I'll tell you the truth, we have not seen them here at training, which makes me believe that they won't be. But They do train after. It's because they train after.
Yeah, I just want to point out, and we're not going to participate, but one of the famous staff games are about to begin.
I'm actually
here.
pretty bummed, and they didn't even ask me. I'm just sitting here, guys. Like, come on.
I'm not allowed to go back.
In my car.
I have perfect teeth. I go to the dentist, and they go, "Get out! You're going to make us lose money."
Oh, and they let Yuli get in there?
I cracked my tooth. I cracked my tooth in this game. The only time I've had any dental work. Look at that. We got some heavy hitters in there.
Steve's in there?
Steve's in there.
Okay, maybe I'll stay out, actually.
And you know Thornton's going to come down here at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. From Andrew, are LAFC making more moves or are they done?
This is the most active team in the league. To think they're not going to make moves would be naive. And we talked about this on our Max and Vince Live. They are the quickest to get into the offseason and the busiest. There are clubs that haven't even added a new player. I mean, Charlotte FC just announced their DP.
Yeah, finally.
And, you know, when you announce your DPs, remember back in 2018 how far along Carlos was and then Diego coming along as well. It's this is the most active front office in Major League Soccer. You don't need me to tell it. So to say they're not going to do it, I know some people are talking about DPs. There's no reason to rush into that. You get to, with what you did in this offseason, take a look if it works and get the DP you really, really want without having to rush into it right now. Unless he's there right now, and maybe
unless he's there. We both said that, and look, they long-term plan this, right? So they missed out on the one that they really wanted, and that was the one they're just farthest down the road with. They're keeping eyes on a lot of guys in that DP slot. So maybe they are close, but I think they bought themselves some time. And then the other big thing to think about is there's not a lot of senior roster spots open, right? I could see one or two more signings, and I think that's all they really have. But without outgoings, there's not a lot. And honestly, it's a salary cap league. This is a pretty deep team. I think they did all their work early, which is good. So they could already be here for preseason and get to know Steve, who's the new coach. And
how many players did they add? I mean, 6, 7?
Well, let's see.
So Tajuri Shroudy. Let's go kind of chronological order here. Escobar.
Ilie. Kellen Costa.
Crepeau.
Maxime Crepeau. That's 5. And that's
McCarthy.
5 that we think could all start.
John McCarthy as well is going to be.
Who probably will start the game tomorrow.
Yeah, because Crepeau's with Canada didn't start.
There you go. We gave you one. There's from the starting.
Kellen Acosta's with the United States. So those are the players we will not be on the field. I think that's the list pretty much, except for the injured guys who we'll see.
This is a hot question. Are the Brazil Brian rumors from reliable sources?
Internacional of Porto Alegre, beautiful club in one of the most beautiful cities in the south of Brazil.
Playing in a stadium that they used to play. Was that one of the World Cup stadiums?
It was.
Right.
And then the other club from that city is Grêmio, which got relegated. And they're having Galaxy apparently trying to bring Douglas Costa,
Good luck.
was good at.
Coming from a Juventus fan, go for that.
When you look at the South American market and you wonder why don't we get Brazilian players? Because Brazilian football is in such a good standing now. There's clubs which
it's
has
back
to get
in a way, right?
It is. The same way you go into Argentina, you're going to get good deals because the economical.
I don't know if you're going to get good deals.
Well, the economical situation in Argentina is pretty bleak.
They're more willing, but I don't know if the deals are good.
And South America, there's economic issues in a lot of places, but Brazilian football is. Cheeky and Sifu there, but Cheeky only made the bench, did not play. So you can't brush it away. The fact that there is a connection now in Brazil because of Palmeiras and Eduardo Atuesta, but I mean, just everything with Brian looks. I hate to use the word comfortable again, but it looks like he's ready.
He's been here since the start.
Here the beginning. There's no interruptions, and this is a guy who's always interrupted, right?
Oh, I'd say this. I don't know. I don't know
national
if they're from reliable sources, but the language that's being used makes me think that it's not reliable.
Yeah.
It's like he has to decide now. They need an answer now. Those are always things where I'm like, I just don't.
So